First off, congrats on the movie.
Thank you.
Clara is a really resourceful, really intelligent woman. I just wondered whether it was those qualities or whether there were any other qualities that you saw in her when you first read the script.
Definitely those qualities. Throughout the audition process, I was given more details and I was kind of like piecing it all together. And so kind of after, with a new audition, it was a new part of Clara that I kind of unlocked and was adding in. And so when I completed the audition process and I booked it and I read the script and I saw how her curiosity really drives her and that she's incredibly determined. She finds herself in this world, and even though people were like, oh, no, you can't face Mother Ginger, she's too scary, she's like, no, I can do it. I got this. And I really admire that she has that mindset, that she, even though sometimes she could be afraid, she knows that she has to do the right thing and so that she will fight to do it.
Yeah, just to kind of set the scene for me. I mean, you get the call from Disney to say, we're making a Nutcracker movie, we want you to be involved. I mean, what was your kind of immediate reaction to that? I can imagine it was quite something.
As a classical dancer, as a professional ballerina, like that's not really something that we aim for or that we expect will happen, like being at a film, especially a Disney film. So it was a bit shocking, like, oh my God, like I grew up watching Disney films and like they have been a part of my life in so many stages that have like brought me like support and joy. And so it was kind of like, but wait, what are we doing? And then like, knowing it was the Nutcracker and being asked, to be the representation of ballet within this film, it was just like, it just made complete sense. Like if I can find the time and we can find an opening, I'm there. Yeah. So it happened, and it's just amazing that, I could be a part of the telling of a story that means so much to me and means so much to the ballet world, and to be representing ballet within it as a Black woman too.
Yeah, the Nutcracker is such a legendary piece and legendary performance. I mean, for you, what was it about this project and this kind of take that Disney were doing that kind of interested you when they first approached you?
Yes. I heard about this project 2017, February, in Los Angeles. And when I met the Disney guys, when they talk about the whole story and the way music is going to present it, I was so overwhelmed because, sometimes in a film business, the music is good, but it's more like a background stuff, and in many movie soundtrack we all know, some worked, some, something just kind of throwing out something, right? But this one, the way I heard, it's like, it's such an important part of the film. It will be the music, and plus it's Tchaikovsky combined with James Newton Howard, Hollywood. So in a way, the idea really has such an attraction. And then I learned that Gustavo Dudamel and Misty Copeland, they're in, and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a dream, the dream team with the Philharmonic Orchestra. So I said, I have to be in. This is a lifetime great moment to introducing Tchaikovsky music, classical music, into much bigger audience. Yeah. And I'm so overwhelmed that this is like the biggest movie of this year's holiday season. I think this is going to be the biggest blockbuster film. So with such a highly recommended classical music parts, I mean, great, can't be better.
Yeah. You've been involved in some big movies before. Obviously, Twilight and Interstellar itself is a big movie, but this is an enormous movie and obviously a Disney movie. I mean, did those movies kind of help you prepare for going onto a set that was lots of green screen and lots of kind of physical things that was quite, very, very big?
Well, with Nutcracker is incredibly practical, so a lot of what you see in the film, it really existed. And Interstellar too, a lot of what was Interstellar was very, very practical, with dust storms, and I wasn't there, but the spaceships, they said that they like projected space outside, so that's really cool. But any film that I've done, all the characters and the sets and the environments have all helped me, because they've all been so different, and so they've kind of unlocked a new experience and a new lesson in each one. So everything that I've done, I would say, has helped me to be where I am now.
For diversity, I mean, there's so much talk about it in the days, but now there seems to be a lot of movement and stuff like that. I mean, it must be great for not just you, but for, I can't remember the guy's name, Nutcracker and those other people and stuff as well.
the cast is diverse, which I think is so important and so amazing for the next generations to come to be able to see that. It represents the world. It's what we look like. And then, to be a Black woman and to be a ballerina princess in this, it's giving people, this is what ballerinas look like. It's not about your skin color, and ballerinas have always been perceived as being white women with blonde hair, and that's going to be the norm now. It's like, oh, she's a ballerina, not a Black ballerina.
Absolutely. How was it? I mean, how closely did you work with James Newton Howard? Obviously, he does the score, but
yes.
I guess you kind of. I mean, how closely did you work together?
We
to bring it all
work
together?
really close. I mean, since last March, we were on the call every month, and he showed me the music. I went to his studio many times in LA, like 3 times. And then we tried out some music. He showed me the film, and so we had this constant continuity of talking very, very carefully. And then he showed me some scores I played, and then we talk about how to make piano sounds like a piano concerto, like the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No. 1, that kind of. And James even thought maybe we can turn this piece to a concert performance piece. So therefore, we're not just thinking about only as a movie, this piece, but as a real piano concerto. Yeah, that type of idea.
And then obviously in some of the other movies, you've worked with some big actors. This one, there's a plethora of talent, Keira Knightley, up to Helen Mirren and Morgan Freeman, legends. I mean, I can imagine for a young actress such as yourself, you can learn so much off of these people, and it must kind of rub off on you in various different ways.
Yeah, it was really exciting, and it was really wonderful to see, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, Keira Knightley, these amazing, really, really talented actors who have done so many things, walk onto the set and be as excited and have that, that new day, that first new film, first day excitement, just as like, someone like me who, really hasn't done as much.
The great thing, I mean, the movie is such a big kind of lavish production, and there's so much CGI and so much practicality, and in your sequence, fantastically filmed, and there's all these practical things going on amongst you. I mean, it must have been great to be surrounded by so much kind of artistry.
Yes. And that, I think, is something that kind of comforted me, because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to being on a stage and surrounded by unbelievable sets, and that's how we create the environment within the theater and get into character. And so it was a bit like surprising to step onto the Disney set and be like, oh, I feel like I'm at home. I'm surrounded by these amazing sets. And I think that more so than people might know, but most of the scenes that were created were actual sets that were built. It was like all of these little worlds that Disney created. So, I imagined that I was going to be in front of a green screen like the whole time. And it just really, I think, especially as someone that's not an experienced actress in front of a camera, it really allowed me to feel like this is something I'm comfortable with and allows me to get into character more easily.
Yeah. I mean, the Nutcracker's been around for like 100 years, 100+ years.
Yes,
100+ like
years.
I mean, what do you think about it that has this kind of lasting appeal that has so many people go to see it and has such an impact on people's lives? I mean, what do you think it is about Tchaikovsky and the piece that speaks to so many people?
First of all, the music itself is so beautiful. Like, recently I listened to it again, just, by curiosity. And it's so beautiful, I mean, even though we all know those music so much, I mean, like, there's some music, some elements that we hear every day, basically, somewhere, in the radio or in a train station, you kind of, know the melody, And so, but it's so beautiful. It's every time you hear it, it's like a new, new composition. Because the story of Nutcracker is so good for Christmas, for holidays. So therefore, it's a combination of a great work, great story. So that's always work. I miss the beautiful ballet, And for the movie, even though it's a kind of a different story, it's a Four Rhymes story. So it's not the Mouse King thing, But still, there are many similarity of the visually, you can. It's kind of you're familiar with the ballet a little bit, and also the story of this film is very encouraging. I think the little girl Clara, I mean the whole thing, she need to go through. You know, it's you know, with a 4 different world and different stage sets. You know, in her life, it's really fascinating. You know, you learn a lot of things from this film. Yeah, and we try to bring that in every corner in the music making.
Yeah, I mean, it is obviously a big kind of Disney movie, but it has all the elements that people will know, and for audiences that perhaps don't know too much about it, for younger audiences, I mean, it's a great kind of way to go into it. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think not just for this story, but for ballet. For maybe people that have never wanted to go to the ballet, thought they weren't interested, or felt like they didn't belong, you know, in these theaters that can seem so intimidating, that we can bring ballet to people in their homes one day and on their TV and you know, on the big screen. And I think that's such a beautiful way of introducing ballet to everyone.
You've got a huge following, social media and everything else. Is there a particular character that people speak to you about if you stop in the street? I imagine it's sometimes the Twilight CGI baby, whatever, and then obviously the Murph, screaming Murph in it. I mean, what's the most? Is it those things that people kind of speak to you the most about?
Some people recognize me from Twilight as Renesmee, and I like on all of the comment sections. There's always at least one person that just has Murph, and I think it's so funny. I've even had people. I've been like walking in a parking lot, and I hear somebody scream Murph, and I have no idea where they are, but people just randomly yell Murph, and it's so funny. I really think it's funny.
Yeah, very funny. Listen, thanks so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey